Volume 1 details the dire and tragic story of my youth.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 DreamWorks characters with the saddest backstories.
You may not remember me, but I could never forget you. Let's shake up some old memories.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most heartbreaking events that occurred to DreamWorks characters prior to the film's main storyline. Which of these origin stories do you find the most tragic? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. The Toad. Flushed away. Although he employs rodents, the villainous amphibian, voiced by Sir Ian McKellen, has something against rats. He's a sworn enemy of Rita Malone and captures her and protagonist Roddy St. James with the intention of freezing them solid. But his overarching plan is even more sinister.
I'll be the one laughing when every last revolting rat is flushed away, for I shall repopulate the city with these.
A bathroom break during the FIFA World Cup final causes a deluge of sewage to spill out. He then takes advantage of this by jamming open a crucial floodgate and washing his rivals out of the sewer. But why the grudge?
Perhaps you forget that it was a rat who cast me from paradise. Oh, please, not the scrapbook again.
Midway through the film, we learn that the Toad once belonged to Prince Charles. However, he was sent down the toilet after the royal got a pet rat. His actions are indefensible, but we wouldn't have been thrilled either.
I was cruelly plunged into a whirlpool of despair.
I know.
Number 9. Alex. Madagascar escaped to Africa. We're used to seeing Alex the lion in his fullest form, as a natural-born entertainer with, shall we say, no shortage of confidence. It's fascinating then to see a formative childhood event play out for him at the beginning of the second Madagascar film.
You and me are the same. And when you're bigger, you're gonna be alpha lion just like your daddy. Now let me see you fight. Ready? No allocate, no dancing. You just amuse yourself, don't you?
The way too adorable Alake is receiving life lessons from Dad Zuba when he's lured away by poachers. That's sad on its own, but Zuba's desperate rescue attempt is equally heart-wrenching.
Allocate! Daddy got you, hold on!
The tale not only explains how the feline ended up in the Central Park Zoo, it also sets up Alex's emotional reunion with his family later in the sequel.
I got a mom and dad! My baby is alive! Dad!
My son is home!
Number 8. Professor Pee-Pee Diarrhea-Steen Poopy Pants Esquire. Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. This antagonist's unfortunate name ties into his tragic past.
The Nobel Peace Prize in inventing stuff goes to, Professor... is that really your name? It's not like some kind of joke.
His backstory highlights how public ridicule is unlikely to make someone a better person. The tempestuous scientist and new instructor at Jerome Horowitz Elementary plots to make laughter extinct.
This funny little purple pot holds our entire capacity for laughter. For years, I tried to shrink it or cut it out entirely.
Considering his moniker, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out why. At one point in the film, we're transported back to the day Poopy Pants showed off his newest invention at a Nobel Prize ceremony. Unfortunately, as soon as his name's announced, he becomes a total laughingstock. Too bad that in the present, he's not exactly a genius when it comes to disguising his evil plans.
Hiya, class! I'm your cool new teacher, not some scary guy with a secret evil agenda.
Number 7. Megamind. Megamind. The protagonist in this superhero comedy starts off as quite the villain, but considering his backstory, we can't quite blame him.
You are destined for...
I didn't quite hear that last part, but it sounded important.
In a riff on Superman's origins, both Megamind and his eventual rival Metro Man are jettisoned into space as their planets hurtle into a black hole. Right off the bat, it's clear that Megamind will get the short end of the stick.
Could this be what I was destined for? A dream life filled with luxury? Apparently not. Even fate picks its favorites.
While Metro Man sails right through an asteroid belt and lands in a mansion, the Blue Baby lands in a prison. Shockingly, he remains a resident even while attending school. It's not exactly a subtle commentary on the idea of social privilege, but on paper, it's pretty sad. Okay, and a little bit funny.
Then it hit me. If I was the bad boy, then I was going to be the baddest boy of them all.
Number 6. Dr. Octavius Brine, aka Dave, Penguins of Madagascar. In this spin-off of the Madagascar film franchise, the titular gang of birds faces off against an unusual opponent. That would be Dave, an embittered octopus voiced by John Malkovich.
Dave! Dave!
Dave?
Dave!
Dave.
Dave! Ah.
After he captures the penguins near the beginning of the film, Dave explains his history at the zoo in detail. In a flashback, we see happy days for the mollusk entertaining children in a spacious aquarium.
Dave! The octopus of 1,000 tricks.
Awesome!
I was the total package.
Wow!
But once the penguins arrive, they completely steal the spotlight, leaving Dave tragically in the lurch. With a life in captivity and the silver lining of providing entertainment gone, we feel for the crafty creature.
That sounds awful.
Oh, it was.
Number 5, Guy, the Croods franchise.
No one gets out of this. Believe me. I know.
In the first installments of this adventure comedy film series, Guy's everything the crude patriarch isn't. He's curious and incredibly inventive, while Grug's driven to anxiety and protectiveness due to their hostile surroundings. Feeling betrayed by his family's evolving values and lack of trust in him, Grug chases after his teenage rival. Unfortunately, they end up stuck in tar, which leads Guy to reveal the origins of his open-minded attitude. His family perished in a tar flow.
I was little when it happened. The last thing my parents told me was, don't hide. Live.
In the sequel, we actually see the events he describes, and suffice it to say, it is devastating.
Follow the light, and you'll find tomorrow.
Number 4, Princess Fiona, Shrek franchise. Since overcoming her personal issues in the first film, Fiona has been a particularly lovable and kind-hearted character. That's part of what makes her backstory so upsetting. In the first installment, we eventually learn that her isolation was due to a cursed dual identity as an ogress. The idea, of course, was that her rescuer would break the spell in traditional fairy tale fashion.
I'm a princess, and this is not how a princess is meant to look.
Princess, how about if you don't marry Farquaad?
I have to. Only my true love's kiss can break the spell.
In Shrek 2, even sadder details emerge about Fiona's early life. We glean from her diary that her parents always kept her home at night.
Dear Diary, Sleeping Beauty is having a slumber party tomorrow, but Dad says I can't go. He never lets me out after sunset.
And she thought she was going to finishing school when she was actually being sent to live with a dragon. In Shrek the Musical, it's specified that she was in a tower for over 20 years.
Day number 23. Day number 950. Day number 8,423.
Number 3, Pitch Black. Rise of the Guardians.
Still think there's no such thing as the boogeyman?
To be fair, Pitch's background isn't explored much in the film in which he appears. Rather, fans can learn of his origins through the movie's source material, William Joyce's The Guardians of Childhood book series. However, Pitch is a DreamWorks character, and his backstory is downright disturbing, enough to warrant inclusion.
I don't know what it's like to be cast out! To not be believed in? To long for a family.
Once a heroic figure, Pitch guarded the imprisoned feelings, creepy beings with ill intentions. In his loneliness, Pitch often thought of his daughter, but the feelings began to imitate her voice and beckoned him to let them out. Once he did so, Pitch was possessed, and the beings became his minions. From the sound of it, the one-time hero's guard duty was miserable enough without the tragic twist.
Maybe I want what you have. To be believed in.
Maybe I'm tired of hiding under beds.
Number 2, Moses, the Prince of Egypt. Any viewers familiar with the biblical tale won't be surprised to see Moses on this list. The religious figure's backstory couldn't be more important, and it's also truly devastating.
My son, I have nothing I can give but this chance that you may live. I pray we'll meet again.
Fearing a potential uprising from the enslaved Hebrews, Pharaoh Seti orders infanticide to be carried out. These events are alluded to at the beginning of the film and then revealed through a nightmare that Moses experiences. As the legend goes, the baby prophet survives the campaign by being sent away in a reed basket, only to be adopted by the Egyptian royals themselves. His later discovery of his own identity paves the way for a tragic conflict between him and his brother figure, Ramesses II.
Do you still not understand what Seti was?
He was a great leader.
His hands bore the blood of thousands of children.
Slaves.
My people.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Po, Kung Fu Panda franchise. Po isn't the only character in these movies with a heartbreaking backstory. In the 2008 short Secrets of the Furious 5, we learn how Tigress, an ostracized orphan, taught the art of discipline by Master Shifu. However, the pair had a strained relationship due to Shifu's betrayal by his ex-protege Tai Lung.
Shifu loved Tai Lung like he had never loved anyone before. Or since.
But Po's origin brings tears to our eyes too. In Kung Fu Panda 2, we see a flashback of the peacock Lord Shen hearing a prophecy foretelling his defeat by a panda.
The young lord set out to change his fate, but what he did next only sealed it.
But we only see the outcome of his actions during Po's emotional flashback later in the film. It's horrible to watch our fun-loving hero unlock some truly traumatic memories. But ultimately, they give him the strength he needs to persevere.
So, who are you, Panda?
I am Poe.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.